When it comes to making friends, a lot of people are worried about what to say because there's this unspoken pressure to be interesting. And the truth is, you don't really have to say anything interesting to be interesting. Over the years of interviewing people, I've noticed and partnered people that turn out to be really good and interesting interviews. And it wasn't necessarily what they said. None of them had anything profound to say. But what actually made them interesting is three things. They had a good background story, they were relatable, and they were honest. The number one person I can think of that does it really well is one of my favorite YouTubers, Daniel, aka Hiding in My Room. And I'm gonna do this video breakdown because he's really good at actually saying nothing but at the same time being really interesting.
I don't have a single friend. Do you think that's weird? Is it weird for someone of my age to not even have one person that I can call a friend? I don't really care about having friends. I don't mind not having friends. I've never really felt like I've really wanted to have friends.
Right off the bat, you can see that he has a story. And his story, whether you like it or not, it's very interesting. Either because you can relate or because it's totally out of the ordinary. Given the fact that he has no friends and probably also social anxiety, yet he really talks so confidently into the camera, makes you wonder what made him the way he is. Anything he says subsequently will automatically become interesting. So if you move into a new country or you're just traveling, automatically you will have a different story to the people that actually reside in that country, thus making you by default interesting because you just have a different background story. Number two, Daniel is very relatable.
I grew up watching Friends, the American sitcom, and I honestly thought that when I grew up, I was going to have a small, close-knit group of friends, like in Friends, and I thought we were going to spend every day together and we're going to be all great friends for the rest of our lives. And then I became an adult and I realized it was all just lies. Reality isn't like Friends. You don't make friends for the rest of your life. You make friends and then they leave you. Friends are just a temporary thing. It's not a permanent thing. People enter your life and then they exit your life and then you never hear from them ever again. And it just feels like the time you spent with them was just a waste of time.
Let's be honest, everybody has difficulties making new friends, especially if you're traveling or moving to a new country. And he's basically saying what everybody's actually thinking. It's very hard to make friends, and if you move away, you will find that a lot of people will not keep in touch. Sometimes even when you put in the effort to get in touch with them, and the friendship kind of fades, you know? And he's confident enough to admit in it. So a lot of people, especially I, can relate. And the thing about being relatable is what you're saying is, look, I'm sharing your reality. Given the fact that everybody thinks their reality is the only reality, ultimately makes the person interesting because he's basically confirming what you've been thinking all along. So what you want to do is, let's say you meet new people and you want to be relatable, and all you actually have to do is listen. Because by listening, you're actually confirming somebody's reality without actually having to guess what they may or may not relate to. And lastly, Daniel is very honest and he's very direct without a filter in a way.
The only kind of friendship that I would be interested in having would be the kind of friendship that comes with certain benefits. The problem that I see most guys having, and I've had this problem in the past as well, is becoming friend zoned by the girl that you want to have sex with. And the reason why this happens is because you're too friendly with the girl and the girl just thinks that you want to be friends with her. She thinks that you're not interested in her in that way. And the best way to solve this problem is by sending her a dick pic. It works every single time.
And he's basically calling out the elephant in the room. A friendship between a guy and girl is a bit different, and it's very difficult to actually make friends without actually getting any feelings involved. And trust me, I know the hard way, because the amount of times a girl has put me in a friend zone without my permission, crazy. When meeting people, what you want to do is, once they open up while talking to you, you also want to open up and want to be genuine. What you don't want to do is just agree with what they say, because sometimes I get people that just agree with everything I say and I'm thinking, that guy doesn't have a backbone. By actually having your own genuine opinion, whether it aligns with that person that you're talking to or not, automatically makes you interesting. So in conclusion, the truth is, you don't really have to say anything profound. It's your story that makes what you say interesting, and not the other way around. 3 things to keep in mind is, have an interesting story, be relatable by listening, and lastly, be honest and genuine to the people that you talk to, and you will not have any problem. I hope this helps. If you like this video, give it a like, and if you haven't already, subscribed. Daniel's channel is in the description below, so if you want to check it out, please do. He's very interesting, so you should check it out. And yeah,